It was 2:07 a.m. when I heard the front door creak open. The sound felt louder than usual, slicing through the quiet hum of the refrigerator. I didn't move at first. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the inevitable click of her heels on the hardwood floor. When it came, it was slow, deliberate, like she wanted me to hear every step. "Jake?" Her voice floated through the hallway, slightly slurred but sharp enough to carry that familiar edge of superiority. I didn't answer. I wanted to see how far she'd go pretending this was normal. She flicked on the bedroom light, blinding white flooding the room. I turned my head just enough to see her, my wife, Emma, standing there in a tight black dress that still carried the scent of expensive perfume and a dozen different men's colognes mixed with alcohol. Her lipstick was smudged, her hair messy in that purposeful, careless way. "Don't look at me like that," she said with a half-smile. "It was just a girls' night out." I sat up slowly, resting my elbows on my knees. "You told me you'd be home by 11. She shrugged, tossing her purse onto the chair. "Oh, come on, Jake. Don't start. It's Saturday. We were just having fun. You wouldn't understand, you never do." Her tone wasn't defensive. It was proud, arrogant, like staying out all night was an accomplishment. I studied her face for a moment, the way her eyes gleamed not from guilt but from adrenaline. "You're drunk," I said quietly. "Tipsy," she corrected, laughing. "And before you ask, no, I didn't do anything wrong. Unless you count being noticed as wrong." That line. It hung there between us, sharp and heavy. "Being noticed?" I repeated. She grinned, pulling her heels off and letting them drop to the floor. "Yeah, you know what it's like to walk into a room and have everyone turn to look at you? Compliments, drinks sent over, people wanting to talk. It's nice." I stared at her. "And you're telling me this because?" She rolled her eyes. "Oh, stop acting wounded. I'm just being honest. Maybe if you paid a little attention once in a while, I wouldn't need strangers to remind me I still look good." That stung more than I wanted to admit. I'd been working 12-hour days to pay for the house she wanted, the car she picked, the vacations she planned but never appreciated. I wasn't perfect, but I was present, at least until she made it clear she didn't care. "Emma?" I said, keeping my voice calm. "Do you even hear yourself?" She scoffed. "You're overreacting. God, you always make everything so dramatic. Can't a woman enjoy herself without you turning it into a crime scene?" I stood, the floor cool under my feet. "You came home at 2 in the morning, bragging about other men's attention, and you think I'm being dramatic?" Her smile faltered just slightly, but she recovered fast. "Oh, don't be insecure. It's not like I cheated. In your mind, maybe not," I said. "But I think you left this marriage hours ago, long before tonight." Her eyes narrowed. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means," I said, walking past her toward the living room, "that you seem more interested in being admired than being loved." For a brief second, I thought she might follow me, apologize, explain, anything. Instead, I heard the faint click of her phone unlocking and her laugh, soft, careless, detached. She was scrolling through photos, of the night, of herself, of everything she wanted me to envy. I stood by the front door, hand on the knob, and realized something I hadn't allowed myself to before. This wasn't a fight worth having anymore. I leaned against the door frame for a moment, just listening. The hum of the refrigerator, the ticking clock, and her voice, shallow and self-absorbed, describing her night into the phone. "Yeah, they couldn't stop staring," she giggled to whoever was on the other end. "I told you this dress still works." I closed my eyes, not out of anger, but because the sound of her laughter felt like someone else's now. It didn't belong in this house anymore. When she noticed I hadn't returned to the bedroom, she called out, "Jake, what, are you sulking now?" I walked back in, calm and deliberate. "No," I said, "just thinking how strange it is. You're proud of strangers giving you attention, but can't stand when your husband gives you the same." She frowned, setting her phone aside. "You're twisting things again. I just need to feel alive, Jake. You've been distant, always working, always tired. I miss excitement." "Excitement," I repeated. "That's what you call respect from other men?" She stood now, hands on her hips. I'm not apologizing for wanting to feel good about myself. Every woman wants to feel desired. I desired you, I said simply, every day, until you made me feel foolish for it. The silence that followed wasn't peaceful. It was thick, uneasy. She looked away first. You're being unfair. I smiled slightly. Maybe, but so are you. Pretending marriage is a cage when you're the one who locked the door. She laughed once, sharp and brittle. What's that supposed to mean? You're not seriously mad about tonight. I'm not mad, I said, and this time I meant it. I'm done. Her expression changed. A flicker of disbelief, then panic, quickly hidden behind arrogance. Done? With what, exactly? With this? I gestured around the room. The pretending, the waiting for you to care, the idea that if I try harder, you'll remember how to love me. Her voice rose. Oh, come on. You're not walking away over one night out. One night? I asked. Emma, it's been a year of nights like this. Not with bars and friends, but with distance, silence, and that empty look every time I try to talk to you. She opened her mouth, then shut it again. For once, she didn't have a comeback ready. I picked up her purse from the chair, the one she tossed carelessly hours ago. I handed it to her quietly. Jake, what are you doing? What I should have done a long time ago, I said. I'm showing you the door. Her face twisted, disbelief giving way to anger. You can't be serious. This is our house. No, I said. It was ours. But it stopped feeling like that the moment you started treating it like a hotel. She stared at me, searching for some trace of hesitation, some sign I was bluffing. There wasn't any. You're really throwing away 10 years? She asked finally. I met her eyes. You threw them away when you decided attention from strangers meant more than respect from me. For a long time, she said nothing, just stood there, barefoot, still clutching her heels. Then she laughed again, but it wasn't confident this time. It was thin, shaky, forced. Fine. You'll come crawling back once you realize how lonely it is without me. Maybe, I said softly, but at least I'll have my peace. I opened the door. The night air rushed in cold, clear, honest. She hesitated on the threshold, maybe waiting for me to stop her. But I didn't. She stepped out, muttering something under her breath that I didn't bother to catch. When the door clicked shut behind her, it wasn't satisfying. It was quiet, still. But it was freedom, the kind that doesn't come with fireworks, just peace that finally makes sense. I looked around the room, the half-empty glass of wine on her dresser, the perfume lingering in the air, the traces of a life that had already ended long before tonight. For the first time in months, I sat down on the edge of the bed and felt nothing but calm. Not heartbreak, not rage, just the stillness of knowing I had finally chosen myself. And somewhere, maybe hours later, she would realize that the attention she craved so badly meant nothing once the door had closed behind her. Because what she lost tonight wasn't admiration from strangers. It was a man who had loved her completely, until she taught him not to.